I did the thing. Oh no. I did the thing. I did the YouTuber side thing. I started my video off with it. Oh dear. Unintentional sigh. I've just had a long, very, very, very long day. But I am very happy to be able to chill with my favorite people. Yeah, they had a hell of a stream, didn't they? Oh, yeah. So there's been a lot of celebrating that's been happening, and I haven't had a stream since all this everything just happened. It's been like the last 48 hours have been a crazy thing for Valhalla. So I just want to come on and introduce what the hell am I will learn to English one day. And just start off my stream with saying big congratulations to Loki and for hitting 1,000, which is a huge milestone. And no, don't. That would actually really be bad, though. I sigh a lot, like a lot. Anyone who's talked to me like knows how much I sigh. Anyway, congratulations to Loki for hitting the 1,000 sub milestone. That's huge. That's like 1/2 of what it takes to get monetized on YouTube. Like that's last time I heard. Now, granted, YouTube has a tendency to change everything and not tell anyone about it. So last time I heard, I was like half of what it took in order to get considered for monetization. Like you're not just given monetization, like you actually they have to review everything. But so big congrats for him. And then also a big congratulations to the Valkyries. They hit 200 subscribers in their burlesque stream that they did earlier today around noon. I missed like 90% of it because I work during the day, so it's very difficult for me to watch like anything. It's very difficult for me to even watch Loki stuff, to be honest. So you know, I think I was able to catch at least a little bit of it. But big congrats to them. And holy hell in a handbasket. What? It's your birthday. All right, I'm not gonna sing. You don't want me to sing happy birthday. Oh my god. But happy birthday, Dal. Holy hell. Nice. All right, so that's another thing that's happened. All right. Holy shit. Oh my god. It's been crazy. Like all of August was insane. September just kept going. The insane train in my life had decided to keep going in September. I thought it would be kind and stop, but it did not. So holy it's all right. I'm not really focused on numbers at all. So it's all right. If I get there, I get there. If not, I have 133 people that. Do you realize how much 133 people are? That's insane. That's insane. And the only reason I even know that number is I am like, I had to check something out because it wasn't this stream was not popping up on my channel as like a reminder. Like this stream is happening in the future, and it didn't pop up like all day. And so I learned a couple days ago that apparently 7% of people come to my videos through notifications from YouTube, which I guess means that 7% of people are getting notifications. I don't know. That's bizarre to me. I'm not doing that math. 7% of 133. That's nope. It's 6 p.m. here. We're not doing math late in the day or during the day at all. But so I have a problem with that. I have a problem with my streams not popping up because then how the hell are people supposed to know that they exist? But that's the only reason I know at the moment. No, I'm not. Again, like I'm not worried about it. Like I can't imagine standing in a room filled with 133 people because I'm like a massive introvert. I know I don't act like it, but I'm like this massive, like shy introvert. And the idea of being on a stage in front of 103 people is giving me stage fright. So, like, to me, that's insane. Like, I don't even know how I got to triple digits, but like, I am so grateful and thankful to like even have a platform to do this, and that anybody on this planet would want to sit down and or stand. I guess you can stand and listen to my videos. I don't know. Um, and want to listen to me for however long I decide to go on for, because that's so like varied. I don't really have a fixed time. But yeah, I'm just so grateful. I'm just humbled by that. Like, it's insane. So no, I'm not worried about it. Okay, sure. We'll roll with that way. We'll roll that way. Notif for what? Yeah, no, exactly, right? Like, what? Like, what's even the point of that stupid bell? I remember when they added the bell. Do you remember when they added the bell? They added the bell, and it's like, well, okay, I'm subscribed to this person. Why don't I just? Why are you then also adding a notification bell? And then they got rid of like email notifications, and that was like half my emails. Oh my god, like I'm not even kidding. That was half my emails. Um, so I don't even get those anymore because YouTube did away with those. So you're like solely relying on the YouTube algorithm to send out a notification, which is you are hoping the YouTube app is actually functioning. Does anyone here trust the YouTube app to actually function correctly? No, right? Like, no, you don't. So, hmm. Uh, anyway. I'm kind of cynical, I guess. I don't know. You threw a missing. I don't know what missing. What is missing? Damn. I can't speak today. You know what? Before I embarrass myself any further, let's get on to what we shall be discussing today, which is what everyone else on this planet is discussing. John Boyega and GQ, or the British GQ, he's the cover star. He had an interview with them, and he like straight up called Disney out. Oh my god, it is. John Boyega has been on like this scorch earth, everyone burn in hell kind of attitude since December. Basically since he pretty much got his paycheck for Rise of Skywalker. He like pieced out and then just started just throwing shade every which way. And it's kind of beautiful because I think we all knew somebody was going to do that. I'm really happy to see it's John Boyega because wow, did they do his character wrong? They did his character so wrong. Holy shit. Did anybody watch The Force Awakens and not think that John Boyega was supposed to be the main character? I thought he was supposed to be the main character. And he had like the most interesting story by far. A stormtrooper who we previously thought were all clones, right? Until Force Awakens, it's pretty much like stormtroopers are clones. Now I haven't read into the EU books, so forgive me, but as far as I was aware of from the movies, all of the stormtroopers were supposed to be clones. And then that's not a clone. That's not a clone. So John Boyega's that Finn that's different. And then of course you have what is it? She played Brienne of Tarth. I always forget her name. Gwendolyn Christie, is that her name? She and when she speaks, it's like, okay, well, that's a chick. That's not a clone. What is happening? And so it's like, okay, so all of a sudden the stormtroopers aren't entirely made of clones. We don't know what the percentage is of clones and not clones, but it's not entirely of clones, which does introduce a very interesting moral dilemma because the Clone Wars TV series made us like fall in love with some of these clones, especially Captain Rex. I think is everyone's big favorite on that, and um, it, and that alone, it was like they made you care about that, but now it's just people, like random people, and you're like, okay, so how did this happen? It's like, okay, is this worse? Like, I don't know if this is worse than the clone thing. Are they kidnapping people? Is that what's happening? And this is like a massive Stockholm syndrome kind of thing, like a cult. Is that what this is? That'd be kind of cool. I think the cult thing really, especially in horror movies, has been overdone to hell. But I think that would have been kind of cool. But no, he just becomes like comic relief, like side character by the end of the series. You're just like, oh, no, he had so much potential. Absolutely so much potential. A stormtrooper gone rogue. See, I don't know. I find but it's John Boyega doing it. I'm not the one doing it, but it's John Boyega doing it. I'm just disappointed, and I don't really care who the hell played Finn. But it's kind of like that Finn easily. And I think this is pretty universal. That Finn easily had like the most interesting. It had the most potential. He had the most interesting storyline that could have come from that. Because you don't have clones as your stormtroopers anymore. And he goes rogue. And it's like he kind of starts to fall for this girl that he just kind of finds on the planet. And, it's just like, it could have easily been like kind of this beautiful love story. But it just, it starts to fall apart really, really quickly. But when the first little bit of Force Awakens, I think is pretty good. Like the first bit with John Boyega's character Finn, and I know in general the sequel trilogy isn't good. It really isn't from an objective standpoint. But it was so interesting. It did catch my attention. It was really good, and then like. I just felt like they shoved Rey at me and tried to force her down my throat and be like, "You will accept this character." It did not feel like she was supposed to be the main character. It's very, very strange. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not just that, but it's like again, like the simple fact that all the stormtroopers are not clones now. That is a huge thing. It does introduce a moral dilemma of who are these people now? Like, are you just killing people who have been brainwashed? That's kind of weird. It does introduce, the more how to put this, a little bit more of the Yahtzee kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not going to say the word, but which is kind of, I think, what the stormtroopers were kind of inspired by as being. Very interesting, just very, very interesting concept. That was absolutely ruined. Oh my god. There you go. Ta-da! Something. And then you know what they did? They made him the comic relief and a fucking janitor. They made the dude a janitor. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that they sent a janitor? They're so low on forces. They sent a janitor out to the planet to help, seize this village. Or it's been a hot minute since I've seen Force Awakens. I think that's what they were doing. Or whatever they were doing on that planet. Like, really now? Like they sent the janitor out there? Are you kidding? That's what we're doing. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. We could have fleshed it out more, whatever. Honestly, you didn't need Rey really at all. I really didn't need Rey. I don't know how this became her story because, man, I wanted to know more about Finn, and I wanted to know more. And did we ever get to know more? Not really. His whole character is comedy relief, yelling out characters' names, and then he's just what? He's the janitor and occasionally knows something convenient. apparently force sensitive. I don't know, but like, way to ruin that. Absolutely ruin it. And also, good evening, good evening, Loki. So irritating. So this is the interview. Give me a second. I have a few things up here. Hold on. Why am I having? Oh, there it is. It's right there in front of my face. Okay, so I have the interview in my description if you want to see the whole thing. But going through it, it's like this is kind of the main core of what I wanted to talk about. Was this specific thing? But if you want to watch the whole thing, watch the whole thing. If you want to read the whole thing, it's in my description, so you can click on that and read it. So my favorite part. All right, hey, I'm trying. Thank you. Why is it green? Okay. That's this is very. Usually it's blue. kind of actually fascinated with the fact that this is green. All right. Not that there's anything wrong with green. But what I would say to Disney is do not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. He's talking about himself, about the character of Finn, the former stormtrooper who wielded a lightsaber for the first film before being somewhat nudged to the periphery. That's a really mild way of putting that, because what they did to his character is, God, they destroyed his character. They gave us like the most interesting character that I've seen in a while, and they destroyed it. Holy hell. Holy shit, you nailed it. A nice panther avatar. Racial stereotypes. Finn, a black janitor, Rose, an Asian bad driver, crashing into Finn and TLJ, and Poe, a Hispanic drunk runner. Wow, yeah, that actually nails it, doesn't it? That's a bit embarrassing. Hey, Josh, really appreciate you coming by. I know. Oh, it's Becky's birthday too, isn't it? So not only is it Dal's birthday, it's also Becky's birthday. But slow down, people. There's so many things to celebrate. Holy hell, you crazy people! How dare you be born on a date? He's also talking about the other everyone. Yeah, so it's interesting, isn't it? Like I said, here actually, that's what I wanted. That. Yeah, so that's kind of what got everyone talking today. It's he's not wrong, is he? And I don't think it just has to do with the race of the character, like Lori said before. I think it just has to do with any character. But it's particularly awkward to, basically make him a token. Like, you basically made him somebody that you could just point at and just be like, yeah, we have that in our stack. Like all of a sudden, like different races, different genders, different sexualities are all kind of like cards in this game. And you have one on the field and it's like, well, I have that. So, it's your turn. Like, what do you got? What's in your deck? What are you stacked with? It's like, it's very demeaning. I can't imagine someone coming up to me and be like, hey, so we're looking for a woman. Would you be interested in this acting role? It's like, wait. wait a second. And yes. Phasma also was wasted. She had chrome. She looked awesome. And it just, now. She had like 2 minutes of screen time, maybe. It's like, I can't imagine as a woman, like, being like, yeah, okay, that sounds fine. Like, no, that's insulting. Like, you have reduced my entire being down to my gender. what the hell is wrong with you? What the actual hell is wrong with you? And then those people then turn around and call us like sexist and racist and whatever. Like what? There's one person here who's reducing people down to these very like surface level things. Like a whole person's personality is not their sexual orientation, not their religion, not their gender, not their race, not any of these other things. It's multiple things. That's what makes a person a person. We're not this one-dimensional blob that you can just stick a damn sticky note on and be like, you are that, and that's all that matters about you. You are women, or you are black, or hell, you're both. And that's all that matters. We don't care about anything. We don't care about absolutely. There is nothing more about you that interests us. Like, what is wrong with these people? What is just? Yeah, can you blame him? Again, like I said, can you blame him? That is really awful. And we knew somebody was going to come out and say some shit. Like it was pretty obvious. You had that one interview. Oh, y'all remember that interview? It happened in December where it was like they got the cast together and they were like, okay, so right now, I don't want you to say anything, but act out your reaction to the Rise of Skywalker. And man, that was not is not good. Like on any level, that was not a good look. They did. I don't think anybody liked that in that cast. So we were pretty much expecting someone to start coming out, but John Boyega definitely had every reason on the planet to come out and say something. So yeah, this kind of spurned a whole bunch of stuff, but they really did. They really did use him for just a box to be ticked. And this is something else. Hold on a second. I know y'all have probably seen this, but I did want to bring it up. Hold on. So, okay. That variety, not usually my choice of things to use. But y'all remember this? You remember the remember this little fun thing where yeah, they kind of a bit embarrassing. So yeah, apparently only when it's convenient, right, Disney? Yeah, probably. I don't think I would ever be able to get I don't think I'd ever be able to get to the end of that because damn. Holy hell. What is wrong with these people? Well, indeed, that would be an interesting psychological study that I would have to take a long time to start, actually. There's different theories about how SJWs happened, but I'd have to dig more into that. On a serious note, I know you're kind of joking, Colin, but on a serious note, I'd actually have to dig into that a little bit more. I don't know if I can do that as a stream. I might end up being the first video if I actually start going recorded style. But right now, like streaming is like perfect for me. Yeah. So they shrunk Finn just a smidgen. Can you find Finn? Finn is right there, and then he's down here. So he goes from being like this huge major character to bitty, right here. And actually, I do have a bigger one. Let's see. Here you go. I said big Finn, and then you go to China, it's little Finn. Like Jesus, dude. It's. Y'all remember Rise of Skywalker? I think even though people like me didn't see it, we heard about this, that there was a two chicks kissing, not really a fucking big deal whatsoever in this day and age, or really at all. But they cut that for the Chinese release. Because at the end of the day, Disney really cares what China thinks. They really, really care what China thinks. So, ooh, okay. I will have to check her out on that because yeah, that sounds interesting. Ha, 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 ha. Jinx. Jinx number one. That's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, crazy, isn't it? It's like, oh, y'all remember what they did to the Black Panther poster? So you have him, and he's standing there, and he's looking at his like his suit, his talons, and then in the Chinese release, they put a mask on him, so you can't see that he's black. Like, how? Pardon me, that's a bit racist. It's a smidgen racist. It's like, well, I don't know, maybe that's something we would like to change in society, like worldwide society. Maybe that's something everyone should focus on, especially in the social justice community. Maybe we do that. But strange how that was just an okay thing, you know. It's pretty clear, like I said, that um, these diversity things for these big corporations are really just, yeah, they're just cards in their deck that they get to show off, like these, the special rares and the super ultra secret rares, these, and they get to show off and virtue signal, and brag about on Twitter to their other corporation friends. It's very strange and so backwards and so insulting. I just, I'll tell you what, growing up in this time period, it's been pretty fascinating. Yeah, I know I've said this before, but I am 25. I'm young. I'm very young. I'm right on the edge of millennial and Zoomer. And I went to college like a few years ago, to get my degree, and it's very strange. It's a very strange time in college. Now, my college wasn't nearly as overt as some of these other places I've heard about with what they um, with like what they're pushing, but I was very lucky in not really getting too into it. It's hard to not, with how college is, to be indoctrinated into the SJW-ness. And I was smidgen, just a little bit. Not like hardcore indoctrinated. But just like you hear it all the time. You hear it everywhere there. And it is kind of a breeding ground for these groups, for these people. I was very lucky, though. Again, and when I majored, I really didn't. I didn't see it very much. But when I did see it, it actually does stick in the back of my mind. I took a sociology class, and it was like I was so exhausted because my workload was so insane. I was so exhausted that I don't even really remember in the class, but I do remember the teacher being like minorly racist and sexist. Like bit she was a bit much. She was a total Karen, but she was like pushing some shit. But I remember it vaguely and in pieces. I don't remember it like hardcore because I was so exhausted by the time I got to that class that my brain didn't really retain any of it. So like thank God for that. Even though I was like awful at the time. um yeah, you and me both, right? The I mean, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, there was one time in one of my classes, we were talking, it was an art class, and we were talking about this piece of work that had gone up in a fine art museum. And there was this one black girl in my class that I was, really good friends with. Um, and my teacher, because it was kind of racially motivated what we were talking about, and my teacher turns to her. She's the only black girl, actually black person in the class, and she turns to her and asks her opinion. It's like, as an African American, what do you have to say on it? Basically asking her opinion in a way that was like she spoke for everyone that was also black. People are not a hive mind, like in general. Every person on this planet is an individual. And I think she was under the impression that what she was doing was including her in the conversation. And like just because of her skin tone, just because of her race. Her voice in that instance mattered. She didn't really call on her ever. Like, but because she was black, her opinion was elevated and she spoke for everyone that was black. It was very awkward for me and her. Because it was like, what the hell, man? What? We just kind of looked at each other like, okay, that's strange. Like, okay, I don't know why you think that she, like, her opinion is like she speaks for everyone that's black. That's very strange. It's a very strange mindset to have. But that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, it wasn't super overt, but I remember little things like that. And it's exhausting. And it's very strange. Yes, my teacher was like middle-aged white woman. I know, we're shocked. There's a bit of a trend there. It's bizarre how it, it, they're like Pokemon almost. I didn't really watch Pokemon or get into it. But bye, Dave Bob. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I think it was in MoMA. It's like the Museum of Museum of Modern Art up in New York City. It was from a few years ago. You can try around 2017, 2016. I don't remember what it was. It was a piece. This woman, it was, and yeah, of course they. I know. I swear to God, it was a bunch of Karens. Ugh. And it was a piece where, I can't even remember. I can't remember off the top of my head. I can see it in my brain because it was a pretty horrific piece. And just because of, like, it was pretty graphic. So obviously I'm not going to show it on my stream. But I can't remember. It's probably around 2017 is when I had that class. And no, 2016 or 2017, one of those two. And it was something, I think, in the Museum of Modern Art up in New York City. And yes, yeah, I know. It's, ugh. You want to talk about some serious SJW shit? You know what I should do? I should do an entire stream dedicated to what modern art has become. Because wow, it's awful. And I don't think that doesn't get talked about, like, at all. Like, we talk about our pop culture and shit, but art is part of our pop culture. And what these SJWs have done to fine art was the first thing to go. Like, fine art died. It is pretty much dead at this point because it is in such a sorry shape, and it does not at all get talked about. Well, obviously because I'm in a pop culture community, But I think it does need to be more discussed. It's kind of like we just accepted that loss, we just took it on the nose, and we just moved on. But no, the fine art that is it y'all know that there are people who are being celebrated for painting with their period blood. Do you know that? Do you know that's actually a thing that's happening right now in the fine art community? Yeah, no, that's a thing. That's a thing. For some reason, that's a thing. Something about woman empowerment. I don't know, but count me down as gross. That is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So, yep, there you go. I had to learn about it. So do you. You also learned about it. Oh my god. Anyway, kind of straight off topic, but not really, because we're discussing racism and really just sexism and everything. It's the fine art community. God damn it. You'll know that there was in Houston, there was a art exhibit. I think it was in Houston. Really, it could have been anywhere. It doesn't really it doesn't matter where it was, but there was an exhibit, and somebody dropped their glasses, and they fell down, and I think they broke, and they're just in the corner. And people walked by, and they started taking pictures of it because they thought it was an exhibit. Somebody dropped their glasses, and they thought it was an exhibit. Yeah, you and me both. Don't use your bodily fluids as art, like as a medium for art. Like, don't do that. That's really gross. Okay, like, you're not empowering anyone. You're just a gross ass human being. But I should do a stream on that where I talk about what's happened in fine art. It is something special. I had to take an art history class too. I had to take 3 art history classes. So, it was a fascinating thing to have to go from, hey, Vincent van Gogh, hey, the Renaissance, hey, all this other shit. And then we go to modern day and it's like, well, this piece of garbage is a piece of art. Hey, let's paint with our menstrual blood because women, oh my God, stunning and brave. And then we have, God, I can't even. I don't, or for some, I think I saw this the other day on Twitter, but if you are in the media, and the majority of people, like, you are not the quote unquote revolution if the media and pretty much every big name out there is on your side. You're not revolting against something because pretty much everyone in power agrees with you. So you're not the revolution. Like, you're just not. Oh my God. Yeah, but you just love it. But you just love the hypocrisy. That you just love this. It's like, okay, I don't even know how Disney thought they were going to get away with this either. How on the fucking earth they thought that they were going to get away with this. This is something, you know what? Fuck it. This is something I have been seeing so much lately. Like, and just, God. 2 things that you need to know if you don't already. But this is especially just, you need to know if you want to be someone that exists right now and be aware of how to act. Okay? You want to be a functioning person right now on this planet. These are 2 things that you have to know and you have to always remember. Actions have consequences, and the internet never forgets. 2 things. Those are 2 things that for some fucking reason, people seem to forget. Just walk around like blissfully unaware that cause and effect is like vital to how things function just in general, from like the most basic levels of like physics. Cause and effect. Actions have consequences. All right? And this is something Disney especially doesn't seem to understand. That also the internet doesn't forget that there was no way on this planet that we are not gonna see that this Chinese poster. Did they really just don't care? I don't know. I don't know who these people are that just walk around just like in this little bubble, in this little temporal bubble where nothing they do affects anything in their brain. They can do anything on the planet, and it just does not have any sort of. There is nothing that comes from it. Even if you're by yourself, something comes from every single thing that you do. Every choice you make, something happens because of that, or something doesn't happen, which basically is something happens. So to watch people just I don't know, frolic around on this planet, blissfully unaware of everything going on around them. It's like a car, when you're driving, right? And someone just pulls out in front of you. You're just driving down the road and someone pulls out in front of you. And you're just like, what the hell? What is this person doing? No, they're just in their own bubble, and you can tell they didn't look. But it's like they are so self-absorbed that they could not fathom that anyone else on this planet would be driving on that road at that time. So they just pulled out, not even thinking to check before they did so. And it blows my fucking mind. I see it happen all the time. I see it happen like pretty much my whole life. People throw something up on the internet, don't think two shits about what they're doing. All right. And then it's just kind of like, nope, la 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 la. We're just gonna, no, there's no way. There's no way somebody will see this. No, Disney, we did. Thank you. We did see this. Because there's like 8 billion people on this planet. Somebody's gonna fucking see something that you do. There's no hidden shit. Like, you don't hide anything from anybody. Eventually truth happens. It comes forth. You can bury it all you want. You can pile it. You pile all kinds of shit on top of it. The truth will eventually come out. It depends on how much patience you have, but you guarantee it that the truth will always come out, whether you like it or not. So, yep, exactly. It's like they were just in the. It's not like, again, this isn't so, like, my car analogy is kind of more. It's like everyone in the marketing department did the car where they pulled out in front of them and didn't think about it. But it's like it was calculated. It's pretty clear it was calculated. Because if it wasn't calculated, then you're gonna have to explain why China got this different poster. Like, you say China has a problem with black people? That seems awkward. It's pretty fucking awkward, doesn't it? But again, it's like the idea that they didn't think that anyone was gonna find this. What are you kidding me? Or that nobody was gonna say something? Like, again, I'm surprised more people haven't come forward. Yeah, I bet Anthony Daniels has some really good tea to just start tossing out. It yeah, if we had a slide calendar, I'd be in trouble right now. Because I get so exasperated and exhausted from seeing people do stupid shit and just thinking they can just walk by. It's such a self-absorbed, like, obnoxious attitude to have. That, like, yeah, just 'cause you did something, so that's out in the universe, and it's a vacuum, so no one will see it, no one will know about it. It's like, no, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Again, 8 billion people on this planet. Somebody's gonna know something. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea if that's the case. And yeah, yeah, that is true. They do. They're like trapped in this like just like I said, the self-absorbed um bubble that nothing, and I do mean nothing, could possibly affect them. You know, I have this saying, it's called playing the long game, right? Because I'm quick to anger. I don't know if y'all have noticed that. I'm pretty quick to anger. I have a bit of a temper. And so I have to control that thing and manage it. All right. And there's some times when I want to do something really stupid that in the moment feels good. All right. But that's short sighted. That's not big picture thinking. All right. Was very short sighted. That is incredibly short sighted. I was like, yeah, like I could do this thing, and it wouldn't be the smartest thing, but it made me feel better. Yeah. So I don't do that because, well, I'm a fucking adult for the most part. Um, I do try to reel that thing back in, and sometimes I'm not successful. But and if I feel bad for it, I'll apologize. Uh, but on days like this, where I have had a rough day, and I am fucking pissed at this for not just because of what he said, but it kind of just seals the deal, doesn't it? And there are people in Hollywood that think that they can just do shit and nothing bad will come from it. That they are like gods that are untouchable. I know, big coming from me, but this is just a handle. Promise. They think they're so untouchable, and they think that they can just sit on these thrones and look down, and they can just do stuff. And we're just these peasants, right? That just look up and, oh yeah, it's just gods doing God stuff, and we forget it. We pay them no mind. It's like, no, no, that's not how this works. No. Kind of thanks to the internet, we're all kind of on equal playing fields. Yeah, some people have more power, some people have more money, but we're kind of all on equal playing fields. All right. Social media, for all the shit that it's caused, has actually introduced a leveling the playing field type of scenario, because all these famous celebrities that used to be untouchable unless you somehow met them in person, you can, for the most part, at them on Twitter. That's amazing. That's incredible. You know, it kind of lowered everyone, but somehow through that lowering process, it's like all these people who enjoyed that holier than thou, like up on the throne type of view. They start this virtue signaling, and they start this. Well, in my movie, I have a woman, I have a black person, and I have a gay person. Oh my god. What do you have in your movie? Oh, they're all white. Judgment. So much judgment. Oh my god. No, people are more than that. People are so much more than that. No. The problem is that, yeah, this happened. This actually came out right when the Black Lives Matter stuff started happening. And you have Disney, and you had and Lucasfilm, all this, like, you know, talking about how much they care about black people, and then you see this, and you're just like, yeah, you don't though, because if you really wanted to make a statement and you really gave that much of a shit, you wouldn't have shrunk thin. You wouldn't have put a mask on Chadwick, would you? You wouldn't have done any of that. Exactly. It's like, I don't care if you make different posters, but because of things they have said in the past is insane. Yeah, double standards, exactly. Double standards this, double standards that, and it's sickening. It's so fucking frustrating, you know? Rules for thee, but not for me, right? That's their attitude. We get to tell you what to do. You do it, but you can't apply what we just told you to us because how fucking dare you? You know, the Hollywood elite, you know, these people, they're just, you know, up on these pedestals, what they think are pedestals, or really are just, you know, regular bar stools, right? You know, they put this crown that they made of themselves on their head, and they're just like, look at me, I can do no wrong. And it's like, oh, fuck you. You're a human. Of course you can do wrong. Of course you can fuck up. We're humans. That's what we do. And how insane that you know you just see all these virtue signals all over Twitter. Every day I see at least one virtue signal on Twitter. And it is exhausting. God, it's exhausting. And for and for these people to think that just because they get paid more than me, that's because people know their names, just because they have more power, that makes them, you know, infallible. Like they can't fuck up. That's so frustrating. And yet who was born with white skin, didn't something I fun fact, I did not have a choice in that matter. I'm demonized for that. Yeah? Well, fuck you. Fuck you for that. Maybe take a long, hard look in the mirror. Do a little bit of self-reflection, Hollywood, because I think you have some serious fucking issues that you need to work out. Why do you reduce sin down to just a black person that you can stick on a poster and resize however you choose? But what do you think? You really want to reduce them down to that? I don't think I'm the one that's racist in that scenario. I think you all are the racist ones, Disney. And I don't know what all of this racist shit is, why you're doing it, and why you think that just because I exist with white skin, that I'm inherently racist, while your actions display you as a racist. I don't know why I'm demonized for it, and yet you're able to get away with it. I guess that's just how it is nowadays, isn't it? You can get away with racism as long as you call the other person racist first. Like I said, Hollywood, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.